What's up, guys? So what if episode 5 just dropped? What if Zombies? And admittedly, this is the first episode that actually wasn't better than the last. And of course, since this episode includes Spider-Man in it, people, well, they're losing their shit, okay? Some ecstatic about his inclusion in the episode, and others that are mad about it and are bitching as usual, but it's all good, to each his own. Honestly, episode 4 set such a high bar. I wasn't really expecting anything to outdo it, at least not this soon. So although the episode had its issues, I thoroughly enjoyed it. Like, come on guys, it's Marvel Zombies. It's supposed to be pure fun, and I had a lot of fun with this episode. We got a lot of character interactions that I personally loved, mixed with some decent action and a pretty nice twist, and I just had a ton of fun with this episode. But we'll get into that, the huge cliffhanger that they left us on, the story, the problems, and all the dopeness right now. But before we do that, make sure to hit the sub button to support your boy, turn on your notifications, leave a thumbs up, follow my social medias, and retweet and share if you think I did a good job. Now, let's get into it. So the story itself takes place during Infinity War time, beginning with Hulk crash landing in the Sanctum Sanctorum, and Bruce Banner not finding anybody around until the arrival of Ebony Maw and Cold Obsidian. Like Infinity War as well, the Hulk doesn't want to come out, and so Iron Man, Doctor Strange, and Wong confront the alien duo, but in this universe, it's the zombie versions of our former heroes, which was pretty damn savage. Like, Iron Man blasted Ebony Maw from right behind his head with the help of a sling ring portal. Like, damn, like when you're evil, you just get so much more creative and badass. Like, I wish Wong would have done more of this shit. Like, he totally could have fucking just chopped Thanos' head off with a sling ring. It just is what it is. It sucks that the good guys always do the boring shit. And it's looking like Bruce is next on the menu until a swarm rushes in and starts to devour the zombified heroes. And it's revealed that Hope Van Dyne is the savior as well. Our friendly neighborhood Spider-Man swoops in to get Banner to safety. And that's when the Watcher explains the origin of this zombie outbreak being a quantum virus contracted by Janet Van Dyne and her time in the quantum realm. And when Hank Pym goes down there to try to rescue her, he gets infected as well and brings it to the surface world. And we all know how powerful Hank Pym is from the murder mystery episode that we got a while back. And this continues to put respect on Team Ant-Man because Hank Pym is able to get the jump on Captain America himself when the Avengers are called in to help with the zombie outbreak. And so naturally, the other heroes would fall soon after that. Then in very Zombieland-esque fashion, we get a tutorial on how to survive the zombie apocalypse by none other than Peter Parker. And this is how we're introduced to the other surviving heroes like Happy Hogan, Kurt from the Ant-Man movies, Bucky, Sharon Carter, and Okoye, which I feel like I say this down bad shit every week, and I truly do not give a fuck. I'll be as down bad as I want. It's just different with cartoons. Like, I wish it was like real life shit, because Denai Guerrera is fire in real life too, but Okoye, she was looking thick in the episode, okay? But they get a signal coming from an old SHIELD base that might have made progress on a cure, so they have to take a train to get to the base, and they end up committing the cardinal sin of horror movies, and they split up, okay? They end up having issues starting up the train and need some time to get it working, all while Happy and Sharon are soon encountered by zombie Hawkeye, who zombifies Happy, and thus Sharon is forced to kill Happy. Okoye and Bucky are forced to kill zombie Falcon, and while Peter is almost taken down by a horde of zombies, until, that is, the Cloak of Levitation comes in clutch as hell, like it always does basically, and they end up escaping from Grand Central Station and head to the base, but they run into more trouble on the train with Sharon getting attacked by zombie Cap, which is so fitting that Cap is on a train and Bucky is going to confront him. It's like a whole thing. And so Bucky comes to the rescue, and the Wasp basically grows inside of a zombie Sharon, you know, that kind of like Ant-Man theory that was going around during like Infinity War and Endgame, that Ant-Man would go up Thanos' ass and just grow and fucking kill Thanos, which is still, I would say, a pretty good plan, but we don't know how much Thanos can take. He might be able to take that. He's a crazy mofo, so who knows? But Sharon couldn't, and she exploded. Bucky made short work of zombie Cap, but it turns out that Hope's suit was breached, so she'll be turning soon, and Hope wants them to kill her before she can hurt any of them, but they're very close to the base with a possible cure, and that's when Spider-Man comes in, and well, Spider-Man's, and gives a great speech about how he's experienced so much loss, like from his parents, from Uncle Ben. He name dropped Uncle Ben, which was just amazing to hear. You know, all that loss that he's experienced and now Happy, and that Aunt May used to say this, that if we can't smile when they can't, then we might as well be gone too, which I think is so indicative of MCU Spider-Man. People get on him for not being fucking depressed all the time and all this shit, but basically it's just so deep and so indicative of MCU Spider-Man because people like to cling to him being a pessimist who persists through all his pain, which I can totally see, but I'd say you'd have to be an optimist to be Spider-Man. You can't just do all this shit and go through all this shit that Spider-Man does and not at least try to have a positive outlook on life. You'll eat yourself alive. And when they reach the base, it's surrounded by hordes of zombies, and Hope does an amazing thing and goes giant mode, which was really awesome to see because we hadn't seen that yet, and literally does what she'd been doing the whole episode, which is carrying the team. And this time she carries the team over the zombies safely to the base, and it was absolutely just such a beautiful sacrifice. And when they're at the base, they meet Vision, and that's the whole reason why the zombies aren't swarming the base, is because Vision isn't a fucking human being. He doesn't have flesh, so he's off the menu. And that's when they meet the head of Scott Lang. So basically Vision was able to reverse the zombification for Scott Lang, so they think that they might be able to do that if they go to Wakanda and use some of their technology combined with the Mind Stone, and that's their whole plan. And so Bucky is looking around the base for a plane or something. Vision, in a very sinister fashion, you're not gonna find what you're looking for, and they did it, guys, and they absolutely did it. When Bucky's looking around, we see T'Challa, Black Panther, which was awesome to see him as Black Panther and to hear him. But in the Marvel Zombies comic, Hank Pym actually like kept T'Challa like alive and not zombified. Zombie Hank Pym actually was just cutting pieces of T'Challa off so that T'Challa wouldn't turn and he'd still have something to eat, but also to stave off, you know, his craziness, which I thought was just such a great allusion to the comics and totally like respectful of the comics to throw that in there, because that was such a like a crazy thing in the comics. I remember when I saw that, I was like, oh shit, they can't be doing this to the man T'Challa, to the king. And they fucking actually did it in this type of animation, which was pretty dope to see. And he actually is using T'Challa to feed Scarlet Witch because she's zombified as well, but she's too powerful to reverse her zombification. So basically what ends up happening, she breaks free, Vision helps them out, she ends up killing Bucky, she ends up killing Kurt, she ends up killing Okoye, and T'Challa, Scott Lang, and Spider-Man actually are able to get away thanks to Bruce Banner and the Hulk and buying them some time so they can get to that Quinjet, so they can get it running, and they end up being able to escape. And their plan is to go to Wakanda, and Black Panther ends it basically with a very hopeful saying, and it was just super beautiful at the end. And then we get that cliffhanger of Thanos with the Infinity Gauntlet only needing the stone that they have, which is the Mind Stone that Vision sacrificed for them. And that's basically the conclusion of the episode. As far as the things that I didn't like about this episode, guys, the time frame of this episode, because of how I guess maybe ambitious or grand Zombies is, I feel like the episode needed more time, like get certain emotions fleshed out. I think there was really good emotional beats in this episode, but I think they couldn't fit certain things. Like one of the complaints that I heard from people was that when they would kill these zombies, nobody really cared. But honestly, like when Bucky killed Cap, I mean, Cap just turned Sharon into a zombie. Cap is feral in his mind. Like he's already like decaying. He's been zombified. So I can understand Bucky being like, yeah, you are a fucking monster. This isn't my friend. Fuck you. I can understand that. The only thing that I heard that I thought actually was very valid is that Scott Lang never once brought up his daughter, which I think he probably should have. Like, I'm trying to get back to my daughter, but he did have a very emotional moment when he saw Hope all zombified, but also acknowledged that she was always saving him. And that was a very sweet moment. And obviously, you know, this was just such a grand story to tell in 30 minutes, and not even really 30 minutes, like 26 minutes. Like, I think this would have been better as like a 45, maybe even like a 50-minute episode. I hope they might extend the time for certain episodes, like in the future, maybe season 2, they'll make the episodes longer, because why not? You know, not working off like regular television, you don't have to hit like a 30-minute block, like just go for it. That's what I would say. That's one of the problems, is just the time I felt was limiting, and I felt like some of the emotional moments, we didn't have enough time to, I guess, sit in them. There were certain things that were corny, like the whole blam blam Happy Hogan thing, but other than that, I thought there was really good stuff. So let's move into the likes. So obviously I love Spider-Man's speech, and I love Spider-Man's inclusion into this episode, and just to see him in this and the interactions that he has, especially with Hope Van Dyne, is amazing. Hope Van Dyne, another player from the Ant-Man corner of the universe, she was carrying, okay? She did so much. She was whooping ass. She was doing so much shit in this episode. So shout out to Hope Van Dyne. She is such an amazing woman, an amazing hero, and I just love seeing her on screen. I hope Evangeline Lilly comes back and does more for this series. And I think the MCU does that sometimes to a fault, especially like in Endgame with all of the quips that fucking Don Cheadle was saying, which a lot of them, most of them didn't really land. But you know, humor is a way that people cope with traumatic events, and I think it's almost the best way to cope with traumatic events. You know, to laugh, to be able to smile after something horrible happens to you. There's a lot of power in that. I truly believe that. So I love that the episode imparted a bit of that. Everything was really cool. It was really fun. I just don't don't know where the hell they're going to be going with this. If we're ever going to see any of these characters again, I would hope to see this Spider-Man again, but that's pretty much it on the things that I liked and the things I disliked and the story. I'm really excited because what has me very curious is because this episode was supposed to be the Party Thor episode, but they changed it to zombies, so I wonder why they did that. Maybe this episode was less significant than the Party Thor one. Maybe Party Thor has a little bit more going for it than this one does. But that's pretty much it for this review. Let me know what you thought about the episode, if you had fun or if you had more issues than you were able to enjoy the episode. Let me know your critiques or criticisms. Are you looking forward to the next episode? I'm hoping it's Party Thor. I don't know what the hell is gonna happen or if they switched it, but we'll find out very soon. Do you think we're ever gonna get an answer to that cliffhanger of zombie Thanos with the Infinity Gauntlet? Let me know. If you liked the video, leave me a thumbs up, comment down below, and if you want to subscribe, I always appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.